What an eventful 3 days it has been for South Florida sports. First, we have the Marlins having a fire sale, trading their most electrifying player, their most entertaining player, and their best player, Jazz Chisholm, to the biggest team in baseball in the New York Yankees, placing Josh Bell on waivers, who hit 4 home runs in 5 games, and even probably about to trade Tanner Scott, the best closer in baseball, and many more to come before the deadline ends on Tuesday at 6 p.m. Then we have the Dolphins getting their name out of the headlines, finally dealing with the biggest conflict and biggest story in the NFL, paying Tua Tagovailoa on Friday 4 years, $212 million extension,
Tua Tagovailoa, QB Alabama,
which makes him the fourth highest paid quarterback in the NFL per year. First, let's get into Tua. They paid Tua 4 years, $212 million on Friday, making him the fourth highest paid quarterback in the NFL at $53.1 million annually. The only people above him, Burrow, Lawrence, and Jordan Love, who got paid right after, which is weird because people, the rumors, the experts, quote unquote, were saying Jordan Love is closer on deals, is closer in talks to getting a deal done before Tua. But guess what? The Dolphins came across that finish line first. Tua is getting paid $100,000 more than Jared Goff, and about $0.6 million more than Justin Herbert. So you could say he's right around the range of where he should be, because he's better than those two, Jared Goff, Herbert. He's getting a million less than Lamar. And the market is the market, unfortunately, and you got to pay these quarterbacks big money, especially with Tua's production leading the league in passing yards. You can only expect him to get paid with the big boys. I don't know what the Dolphins were expecting, but you had to pay him this number. There was no other way. Especially, he's just going to succeed in the coming season, in my opinion, with the Dolphins and getting better with that offense, and that offense has gotten better. So you're just going to have to pay him more as the time goes by. And Lawrence, you can just look at that and say that's a bad contract. You have to just look at it and say it's a bad contract. Lawrence is not up there with Jordan Love, not up there with Joe Burrow, not up there with Tua Tagovailoa, not up there with Jared Goff, not up there with Justin Herbert, not up there with Lamar, and not up there with Hurts. And those are the top 8 quarterbacks paid in the NFL annually. Now, the Tua contract, the Dolphins were stalling to get a deal done there. Tua wanted more, Dolphins wanted less. And it is a great argument the Miami Dolphins front office had, and in my opinion, I supported their argument. He has been hurt. He has been with injuries, with almost career-ending injuries. So you don't want to get your money tied up into a quarterback, name him the quarterback of the future, yet he has issues with injuries. And it totally makes sense. And in my opinion, you could see the 2 years he had with Brian Flores and point at them and be like, well, that was you without the offensive genius, without Tyreek Hill, without a fully developed Jalen Waddle. Jalen Waddle's not even fully developed yet, but with a not as developed Jalen Waddle, and without all these weapons and all this speed and all this offensive genius, you weren't good. And then now you're a top quarterback in the league. But then you can also look at Tua's point of view and say, I didn't have a coach that supported me, and I had a defensive-minded coach who didn't like me, and you guys rummaged with Deshaun Watson, Tom Brady rumors, and now that I have a coach that's all in, an offense that's all in, and a front office that's all in, my stats are all in. I'm all in on MVP almost. So it's a weird argument and fair argument from both sides of Tua and the Miami Dolphins front office. But the breaking point for me on why I support paying Tua Tagovailoa is because Mike McDaniel from day one has built this offense, this offensive scheme, this offensive playbook around Tua. And you can't. You see with Skylar Thompson, the season where Tua got hurt, the Dolphins started slumping. Even though they hung in there with the playoffs against the Bills, the Dolphins start slumping. And you can't plug in Skylar Thompson to that offense and succeed. You can't plug in Teddy Bridgewater into that offense and succeed. You can't plug in Mike White into that offense and succeed. You can't just draft another quarterback and have automatic success. And the Dolphins need to win now with all this money tied up in contracts, whether it's on defense and Jalen Ramsey, Bradley Chubb, Jalen Phillips, on offense, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, and now Tua Tagovailoa. You can't, and Teron Armstead, you can't plug in any quarterback and have the immediate success. And you need to win now. And to try and do that, you're basically just restarting the whole offensive scheme, setting back your team 2 years, and getting a new quarterback. The offense is built around Tua. The offense is fast, the quick throws, the middle of the field being open, easier reads. The offense is set around Tua, and it's not just a plug and play offense. The offense is good because it's built to everybody's strengths, and especially the quarterbacks. And to get a new quarterback, you have to build around his strengths. So this offense will not work with just any quarterback. It will only work with a select few, and Tua is one of them. So you need to pay your quarterback, and now that you paid your quarterback, you got to make sure this offense succeeds, this team succeeds, and Mike McDaniel is that guy. And you got to extend him. As long as Tua is here, I want Mike McDaniel here. And that's it. And that's my opinion on this situation. Now to baseball. The Marlins traded Jazz Chisholm to the Yankees on Saturday for 3 prospects. Star prospect being Augusto Ramirez, catcher, number 3 in the Yankees farm. Now, we knew this trade was coming since the beginning of the season. The goal of this new GM for the Marlins, Peter Benedict, has been to rebuild the farm system, rebuild this team, and this team sucks. Now, he said this team sucks basically earlier in the season. And it's hard not to suck when the front office thinks you suck. So this trade's been coming. Jazz to the Yankees, it wasn't unexpected. It's been a rumor now for a couple weeks. And it's a good trade for the Yankees. They get a center fielder, but they also get a player that can help rest their other players. Glaber, you start being ass. Jazz is right there. Verdugo, your ass. Jazz is right there. LeMahieu, your ass. Jazz is right there. So it is a star for the Yankees. He's not going to be their biggest star, obviously. He was the biggest star on the Marlins because they're the Marlins. But now you get someone who could play infield, who could play outfield, and who can get hot. But most importantly, can get to first, to home very quickly, like he did last night. Got on. He was 0 for 4 from the start, top of the 9th against the Red Sox. He gets an infield single, beats out the throw to first base, steals second, acts like he gets hurt like Jazz always does, and goes to third, sack fly, brings in a run at home. That's what Jazz does. He uses his speed to his ability. Stolen bags, getting on base. That's all that matters, and that's what benefits him, and it benefits the Yankees. Now the Marlins. Josh Bell's on waivers. Their season's to shits. There's nothing to root for. Tanner Scott's next. They suck. Now, next year's positive, though. I'm looking at the next year positive for the Marlins. Their pitching is really, really, really good. Max Meyer came back. He got us a win on Saturday. Same day as the Jazz shirt. We have Sandy coming back from Tommy John. He's NL 2022 NL Cy Young winner. Yuri Perez, really good rookie last year, got hurt. He's coming back. Ryan Weathers is really good this year. He's coming back. Jesus Luzardo, he's probably not going to get traded. He's coming back, and he's promising. And then you still have Braxton and Edward Cabrera, even though I said Edward Cabrera is a bullpen. Just saying, that's what I would do. Braxton Garrett, who knows? And then you still got their number 1 prospect in the farm, Noble Meyer. So, honestly, I think the rebuild of the farm system for the Marlins has been going really good, especially what they got for trading AJ Puck and De Los Santos. He has a 1.011 OPS. He's really, really good, and he hit a homer in his debut game for the Marlins for the Jumbo Shrimp. So I think the successful rebuild of the farm. Now, did I want to trade the only form of my entertainment for the Marlins and Jazz Chisholm? Selfishly, definitely not. And I don't think it was not a bad trade package, but it really wasn't a smart move, in my opinion. I mean, he's still young. He can still ride with the next core of the team. I don't see a point in trading him. Now, you do have to pay him, but you still have 2 years of control. So what does that say, having 2 years of control of Jazz Chisholm, trading him? What does that say about the 2025 season? To me, that's saying you're not trying to do anything for the 2025 season either. So that's not good either. But hopefully they will see the bright side of the pitching rotation for next year, and they do something. And Jazz Chisholm, honestly hope the Yankees win a championship this year. They have Jazz Chisholm. He's my favorite player. Hope they win a championship this year. I could care less. The Marlins aren't winning, then Jazz Chisholm wins. So let's see what the Marlins do with the rest of the trade deadline. I hope they don't trade every damn body. But they're probably going to trade Tanner Scott. That's what I'm expecting. Maybe De La Cruz. I don't know. Josh Bell's on waivers. And don't forget, show Tua his money.
Show